A university student I was financially supporting cheated on me. She climbed into the bed of the heir of a wealthy conglomerate, looking down on me as just a small business owner. To distance herself from me, she slapped me in front of that rich kid. "You're just a nobody. Do you think I'm like you, living off others?" But she didn't know that my small company was just a practice project set up by my dad. The person she idolized was actually just a distant relative who had recently come to the city. Recently, Emily had been acting strangely. Not only was she slow to respond to my messages, but she hesitated even when I suggested we meet. Friends warned me that she might be getting tired of our arrangement and wanted to break things off. To me, though, she was practically my girlfriend. Emily was beautiful, kind, and gentle, but she was from a poor family and had a younger brother who needed medical treatment. At the beginning of our relationship, I confessed my feelings to her, but she told me she wasn't interested in love. She believed it would slow down her ability to earn money. So, I took another route and transferred her $100,000. Our unusual relationship of being supported and supporting began from there. "Sorry, I have a modeling event at school tomorrow, so I won't be able to meet up," Emily texted me, unsurprisingly turning me down. I frowned, tapping my fingers impatiently on the table. The middle-aged man sitting across from me quietly asked, "Mr. Anderson, is something bothering you?" Looking up from my phone, I recognized the man across from me as the principal of Emily's school. Ever since we started dating a year ago, she had once casually mentioned how the classrooms lacked heating in winter. I donated a significant sum to the school just so she could enjoy a comfortable environment there. Of course, Emily had no idea about that. She saw me as a minor businessman with a bit of money. I was hesitant to reveal my true identity for fear of scaring her away. If she cut ties with me after careful consideration, that would be a tremendous loss. "There's nothing bothering me," I replied. As soon as I finished speaking, the principal sighed in relief and smiled warmly. "By the way, I wanted to ask if there are any upcoming events needing models at your school." The principal looked confused. "I don't remember any such events, but I can make some calls to find out for you." "That would be great." While the principal was on the phone, I scrolled through Emily's recent social media activity. After we started dating, she occasionally posted pictures of gifts I'd given her online, and her follower count had grown quite a bit. However, she never revealed our relationship because she was concerned it might damage my reputation. That's why I had never appeared in her photos. Most of her pictures were taken by me. In her latest post, though, I noticed she was wearing an unfamiliar watch on her wrist. It wasn't a gift from me, and the brand wasn't cheap. Did she buy it herself? "Mr. Anderson, I checked, and the modeling team doesn't have any events coming up." Emily was lying to me. The next afternoon, just as class was letting out for Emily, I casually parked my understated car outside her school. It wasn't long before I saw her coming out. She was wearing the silver dress I had given her, but had thrown on a loose blazer over it, clearly dressed up. As she turned to get into a fancy sports car, I caught sight of the figure in the driver's seat. Though I couldn't see him clearly, I could tell he was a man. Damn, this was just great. I had just been cuckolded. I cursed under my breath, turned around, and snapped a picture of the car's license plate, sending it to my group chat. "Find out whose car this is fast." Shanghai wasn't that big. I had most of the important contacts figured out. If someone dared to poach my girl, they better be prepared for the consequences. It wasn't long before my phone buzzed with messages. "What's up, man? Is that your girlfriend in the car?" "Oh man, who's the one with the guts to steal Emily away?" "Are you joking?" I rushed over to check, but this license plate is your own. "What? I'm sitting in the car and the one in the front is mine?" I slapped my forehead and sped back home. Since my dad had handed me a small company to manage after I graduated 3 years ago, I rarely returned home. As I walked through the door, I found my parents sitting on the couch watching TV. They glanced at me and quickly turned their heads away. "What brings you here?" "It's not a holiday," my mom said, munching on fruit. My dad chimed in sarcastically. "Did your practice company go public?" On a normal day, I'd banter a bit with them, but today I was filled with rage and had no patience for that. I marched over and asked, "Dad, who did you lend my car to recently? Why would I borrow your car? Our family isn't going bankrupt." My dad rolled his eyes, sounding annoyed. "Did you drive my car to pick up a college girl?" He spat out his drink, stood up abruptly, and pointed at me, cursing. "Don't you dare slander me. Your mother and I were minding our own business at home. I've never been unfaithful to your mother. Absolutely not." I believe him on that. If he were otherwise, I wouldn't have taken on my mother's surname as the sole heir. But if he said he didn't do it, was it possible my car had been stolen? Frustrated, I slumped onto the couch and recounted the events of the day. My mother suddenly hollered, "I remember now. Didn't your aunt call us a while ago about your cousin graduating? They wanted us to help them find a job. That kid's grades were SOSO, and I figured I could offer him a position at our company to avoid him being taken advantage of. His first day at work, he complained to me how hard it was to take the subway, and I offered him our family's car to use. I didn't expect he would drive away in your sports car." I was completely baffled by the convoluted family connections, just managing to grasp that it was a distant relative. My dad frowned and said, "Even if he's family, it's gone too far. Call him up and tell him to return the car. If he needs a ride, I'll buy him a used one." Okay, sounds good. With the problem solved, I finally felt a bit relieved. However, I still needed to figure out Emily's situation and how she had deceived me. When I got home, I reconsidered things. Perhaps Emily had been busy and couldn't tell me honestly, and that distant relative was merely a casual acquaintance. I couldn't just blame her without reason. In any relationship, honesty is key. After convincing myself, I dialed Emily's number. The call connected slowly amidst chaotic background noise. "Where are you?" I asked, masking my suspicion. "After the modeling event, we're going out to celebrate." Her answer came quickly, almost automatic. If she wasn't being dishonest, it meant she had a habit of lying. I didn't hang up. Instead, I opened an app one hadn't used in a long time, the one that showed the GPS locations of all my vehicles to prevent theft. Out of my two non-home vehicles, one was downstairs, and the other was parked in front of a bar. Now the pieces fell absurdly into place. I felt like an idiot. I wrapped up the conversation with Emily, claiming I needed to go, rolled into my car, and headed for the bar. I spotted Emily easily. She was dancing on a table. Across from her, a man in a black shirt was seated. I hadn't watched for long when Emily leaned down and kissed him. This was a messy scene. "Emily, what the hell are you doing?" I shouted, drawing the attention of everyone at the table, including the man she had just kissed. His face mirrored one I recognized from the pictures my mother had shown me. My distant relative. The moment Emily saw me, she instinctively pulled away, creating space between them. Under the dim lighting, she looked appealing and seductive in a way I had never seen before. I felt my face flush, realizing how utterly betrayed I was. "Liam, what are you doing here?" I let out a sarcastic laugh, sitting on a nearby sofa with my legs crossed, casting a derisive look at Emily. "Liam? What's this? Feeling too shy to call me brother in front of someone new?" Emily turned as pale as a ghost. She couldn't respond, as the man behind her wrapped his arms around her waist. Everyone knows it's natural for her to attach herself to someone strong. Now that she has a new benefactor, why shouldn't she? I squinted at him, annoyance prickling. "Who do you think you are to talk to me? Who are you? Who do you think?" "I'm the son of the CEO of the Smith Group, the sole heir." Before he could respond, one of his lackeys hurriedly chimed in. "The sole heir of the Smith Group? That identity belonged to me. He was using my name, dating my girlfriend, and driving my car." I rose to my feet, stepping toward him, and before anyone could react, I swung a fist at his face. Emily gasped as he hit the ground. But I wasn't done. I stepped over him, grasped his collar, and poured a bottle of whiskey over his head. The screams echoed throughout the bar. If anyone didn't know what was happening, they might think I just poured acid over him. "You dare treat me like this? My dad will not let you go." I pulled out my business card and threw it in his face. "Let him come find me and see who doesn't let whom go." Standing up, I turned to the shocked crowd. Their eyes were wide with fear, but Emily's was the most panicked of all. Under her gaze, I stepped closer to her and asked expressionlessly, "I'll ask you one last time, are you coming with me?" Emily's fearful demeanor suddenly hardened. Desperate to prove her loyalty to Mr. Smith, she slapped my face. This was the first time someone dared to strike me. "I won't go with you." "Liam, are you planning to drag me down with you?" "Mr. Smith is different. He's a true dragon amongst men." I maintained my position, leaning in as I whispered softly. "So everything you've said before about not caring about money, being worried that falling in love would interfere with your work is a lie." "Yes, it was only because you weren't rich enough. And your sick brother? I made that up to deceive you." "You're so naive, Liam." At that moment, Any shred of hope I had for her vanished. The next morning, there was a loud knocking at my apartment door. When I opened it, there stood Mr. Smith and my father. Mr. Smith didn't notice the silent exchange of glances between my father and me as he dramatically announced, "That's him. He was the one who hit me last night. What do you want me to do?" I wanted to kneel and apologize. I chuckled lightly at my father, leaning against the door frame. "Did you hear that, Dad? He wants me to kneel and apologize." Mr. Smith's look turned blank, but it seemed he didn't want to accept reality. He glanced back and forth between my father and me, managing a nervous chuckle. "What? Your last name is Anderson, not? My son and I share the same surname. Do you have an issue with that?" His face drained of color. My father and I sat on the sofa, observing Mr. Smith, who was now staring at the ground. He may have been a Smith, but there were too many Smiths in the world. "Are you saying that after you left work, you decided to take my car home and Emily approached you first?" I tapped my fingers on the table, and Mr. Smith nodded ever so slightly. "You have to believe me. I never intended to pretend to be you. It was all Emily's doing. So, she mistakenly took you for me, and you just went along with it?" He nodded again. "What about the money you spent going out with Emily?" "I just had them noted down as being under the Smith heir's name." Not bad for a fool. I watched as Mr. Smith trembled from fear, laughter bubbling up out of frustration. "Smith, you're something else. Using my money to date my woman and not spending a dime." He shook his head rapidly, almost begging. "Please, Liam, I know I messed up. I'll call Emily right now and clarify everything." Just as he was about to grab his phone, I stopped him. He was at fault, yes, but Emily angered me more. Deep down, I knew even if she hadn't cheated with Mr. Smith, she would have with someone else. Clarification is absolutely necessary, but not now. Next week is my birthday, and my dad will host a party. I need you to bring Emily. Having slapped my face, he wasn't going to walk away unscathed. Hope glimmered in Mr. Smith's eyes. He cautiously asked, "So what will happen to my situation? For everything you and Emily have spent together, I'll prepare a list and deduct it from your next paycheck." Smith's complexion turned pallid once again. The places he frequented and spent money are far beyond what he could afford. If converted into cash, he'd be working for me for decades at no pay. But he knew better than to negotiate at this point. So with a reluctant nod, he left in a daze. After he left, my dad turned to me and asked, "Since when did I say I'd throw you a birthday party? Don't play dumb. I know you plan to announce that I'm taking over the Smith Group on my birthday." He snorted softly and looked away, muttering, "I can't help but wonder who you take after." My dad's practice company was thriving enough to prove my skills, and he had been talking about retiring with my mom to travel the world for the last 2 years. If I couldn't see that obvious connection, I'd really be daft. On the day of the party, I sent out invitations to all my friends. When they heard Emily would be there, they all expressed their excitement about supporting me. They obviously just wanted to watch a show. I arrived early, waiting for Emily to show up. The moment she walked in hand with Mr. Smith, she naturally captured everyone's attention. Clearly, Emily had dressed to impress, wearing a high-slit red gown with a plunging neckline that revealed her fair skin. Her long black hair casually piled up and adorned with pearls that sparkled like stars. She certainly looked good, but there was a greedy glint in her eyes that made her seem shallow. It was hard to believe I had once overlooked those traits. Standing up, I patted my friend on the shoulder and said, "Okay, the stage is set. Let's see how our leading lady performs." I had already warned my parents. They would act as if they didn't know me and approach Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith had lost the arrogance he had that night. Now, he appeared like a servant who forgot his place. Emily, sweet and charming, greeted my parents, but knowing her true nature, they weren't impressed at all. Seeing me, her expression changed in an instant. With no one around, she hurriedly grabbed my arm. "What are you doing here? Is this place somewhere you could even come to?" "I'm celebrating my own birthday. If I don't show up, who are you celebrating for?" Emily froze for a moment. Then her eyes narrowed in disdain. "Liam, I thought you were just broke. I never knew you were stupid enough to come to a place like this. You'd do well to change your last name before throwing insults at me. You've got serious issues." As she turned to leave, a flirtatious smile returned to her face as she took Mr. Smith's hand. What was I thinking back then to be drawn to someone like her? Before long, my mom found me surreptitiously, How long are you planning to play this game? Your father has relatives waiting for you to greet them. I kept my eyes on Emily's back, smirking lightly. No rush. There's still my speech to deliver, and my identity will be revealed. My mother sighed, scolding me a bit before walking away. I picked up my phone and opened Emily's social media. She had just posted a picture where the tableware bore the logo of the Smith Group. Not far away, Emily was checking her phone, smiling contentedly. It was clear all of this was part of her expectations. I started to formulate a brilliant plan for revenge against her. If she cared about her image so much, spending so long preserving it meant I had to expose her for everyone to see. I signaled a waiter to collect everyone's phones at the right moment. Then I instructed him to use my phone to start a live broadcast, standing at a distance where he could capture Emily's face. With the stage set, it was my turn to make an entrance. I exchanged glances with my friend, who understood my cue and stepped over to Mr. Smith. After a few feigned compliments about Emily's looks, the topic finally shifted to the main event. I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. Weren't you Mr. Anderson's woman? The crowd around Mr. Smith shifted nervously at that. But if you looked closely enough, you could catch glimpses of satisfied anticipation in their eyes, eagerly awaiting the chaos. Emily promptly waved her hands, denying it. That's impossible. You must be mistaken. I might confuse things, but beauty like yours is hard to forget. Emily's hands clenched in a fist at her sides. I sashayed over, holding a glass of red wine, and stood in front of Emily. Miss Emily, it's been a while. Or should we say, we saw each other not long ago? I remember you hitting me. Gasps erupted from the crowd. While they may know of our relationship, no one had heard the story of her slapping me before. Emily's face turned white, but she maintained a forced smile. I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you really not? Perhaps you should ask your companion, Mr. Smith. He should remember it well enough. Mr. Smith lifted his gaze after hearing this, locking eyes with me. He immediately set his glass down, cleared his throat, and boldly proclaimed, Yes. Emily slapped Mr. Anderson. I saw it. The sound was really loud. The stunned silence returned. Emily looked shocked. She pulled on Mr. Smith's sleeve anxiously, attempting to interrupt. What are you saying, Mr. Smith? What slap? Mr. Smith, tell us how you and Miss Emily got together. We'd love to hear that romantic story. I interrupted her, hopping up onto a bar stool, watching with interest. Emily chuckled nervously, her chin held high, trying to feign nobility. Mr. Smith and I fell in love at first sight. After I left work, Emily blocked my car, claiming I had hit her. When we reached the hospital and they found nothing wrong, she insisted on adding me on social media and kept bugging me for dates. That's how we ended up together. Emily's face turned pale with disbelief, stepping back as if wounded by his words. Mr. Smith, how could you say that? We're not like that. Really, Mr. Anderson, I had no thoughts of her initially. It was her who seduced me. He nearly poked Emily in the face with his finger as he rushed to defend himself. He was frantic with fear, and Emily, despite being slow to catch on, sensed something was amiss. She tried to wake Mr. Smith up, tugging on his sleeve. Mr. Smith, what are you doing? Why are you stooping before Liam? He's just a small business owner, but you're the heir of the Smith Group. Mr. Smith's eyes blazed with hatred, while Emily's words ripped away any pretense. Everyone there understood my identity, and Emily's comments were the same as saying Mr. Smith was a fool. But without my permission, he wouldn't dare expose his true identity, glowering at her with resentful eyes. Emily turned to Liam, her innocent expression softened with tears. Liam remembered all too well how Liam had been duped by that same innocence. Liam, I know you're upset about our breakup, but I've said from the beginning that I wouldn't date you. Our relationship has always been mutual benefit. Now that I've found my true love, why do you have to tear us apart? Mr. Smith is kind. He worries you'll be upset about us. But I have to tell you, Liam, I don't like you, and our relationship is over. Liam observed Emily putting on her show, stepping closer to look down at her. Being supported by Liam and using Liam's money to date another man, while acting so self-righteous. Emily, Liam can't believe Liam ever had hope for you. Her visage was pale, her teeth biting down on her lip, appearing defiant. Say whatever you like, Liam, but I love Mr. Smith, and I won't leave him. If she hadn't cast glances at Mr. Smith while saying those words, they might have felt more genuine. My smile didn't fade. Just as you wish. Before Emily could heave a sigh of relief, Liam's father's voice boomed from the stage. Thank you for celebrating my son's birthday with us. And I wish to announce that, starting today, the Smith Group will formally be handed over to my son. In that moment, Liam saw the spark of excitement flicker in Emily's eyes. With that, I'd like to welcome my son to the stage to say a few words. Liam, come up here. Slowly, Liam advanced toward the spotlight, watching as Emily's looks shifted from surprise to despair. The words Liam spoke were mere formalities, and when Liam stepped down, friends who had gotten close came forward to congratulate Liam. Yet Liam's gaze fixed on Emily, who trembled and appeared weak, as though about to crumble under pressure. It was the best gift Liam could receive that night. Liam stepped aside, clutching Liam's glass of wine, while Emily lingered nearby, like a shadow. As Liam passed the waiter holding a phone, Liam discreetly gestured for him to start recording. He nodded and took up his position behind the wall. Liam, just as expected, Emily called out after Liam. Liam turned around, her confusion evident. Miss Emily, why aren't you with your devoted love? Emily's face soured at Liam's mocking tone. Still, she didn't leave, glaring at Liam determinedly, her hands balled into fists. Liam, why do you have to speak to me like this? How do you want Liam to speak? To the girl who's seeking true love, Miss Emily. Liam leaned against the balcony railing, the wind catching her hair as she shivered from the cold. Yet she remained stubbornly rooted in place. Why didn't you tell Liam your true identity? You don't trust Liam, do you? Liam found her accusation amusing. Miss Emily, did Liam ever claim to be merely the boss of this company? You assumed that yourself. Besides, does who Liam am change anything between us? Or does that just mean you're someone who seeks riches and avoids danger? Tears streamed down Emily's cheeks, and Liam was struck by how skilled she was at fabricating her sorrow. Liam, it's not like that. You're misunderstanding Liam. I was forced to believe Mr. Smith claiming he was the next heir to the Smith Group. He said if I didn't date him, he would use Liam as leverage. I was protecting you, Liam. You have to believe Liam. At that moment, her eyes sparkled with sincerity. And if Liam hadn't seen her true colors already, Liam might have been swayed. Seeing Liam's silence, she took a step closer and grasped Liam's shirt. Liam, remember when you said you would always take care of me? Liam chuckled, leaning in closer to Emily. She perhaps thought Liam would kiss her, closing her eyes in anticipation. But instead, Liam whispered into her ear, Miss Emily, your acting has been impressive. Liam recorded it all? Her eyes shot open with horror. You recorded it? With a snap of Liam's fingers, the waiter emerged from the shadows with the phone. Twisting her around to face the camera, Liam encouraged her, smile for your fans, Miss Emily. The live stream that night undoubtedly skyrocketed to trending status. With elements like two-timing woman, gold-digging student, and fake heir, it was impossible not to attract attention. When Emily saw her own terrified face on the screen that night, she completely broke down. Hiding her face, she screamed before dashing out of the venue. Liam grabbed the waiter's phone and glanced at the barrage of comments flooding in. Most condemned Emily as conniving, wanting both fortune and love, claiming she deserved everything that was happening to her. But a handful of them called Liam out for hiding Liam's identity, saying she was looking for a better life, though her approach was flawed. Some even expressed disdain for Liam, believing Liam was bullying Emily due to Liam's background. Liam merely stared blankly at the influx of comments. So by that logic, having money means Liam deserved to be played by women? Liam didn't tell her who Liam was, but during our time together, Liam spent all the necessary amounts without question, just as Liam should. Was she truly innocent, wanting a better life? There are countless women fighting diligently in their careers and not relying on deceit. Yet here she was thinking of gaining benefits meanwhile. People love to preach about empowered women, but when confronted with these situations, the narrative always falls back on the woman being a victim. It's not Liam who's getting played. Liam, just someone who's been fooled. Liam's mother's furious reply shut down the live stream in moments without hesitation. The waiter stood by, dumbfounded. Liam tossed Liam's phone into his lap as Liam strode back into the venue. needing to clean up some loose ends. Mr. Smith didn't dare leave until the party ended. Before departing, he bowed and scraped in front of Liam's father and Liam. Mr. Anderson, Mr. Smith, about my situation. Liam glanced at him with disdain, then turned Liam's gaze away. Tomorrow, you'll receive your itemized consumption list and paychecks, and soon enough, you'll realize just how long you'll be forced to work off your debt. Color vanished from Mr. Smith's face, but Liam was too preoccupied to watch him grovel. Liam simply left. Taking over the Smith Group wasn't an easy task. Despite Liam's experience running a small company, stepping into a firm with thousands of employees was another level entirely. Mr. Smith remained employed, but everyone was whispering about his blunders, making him extremely unwelcome among his coworkers. Liam never intervened. Once a person makes their choices, they must face the outcome. Liam's mother confided in Liam's grandmother about his actions, who immediately exploded with rage and called Mr. Smith's family. As a result, we cut ties with all distant relatives. During this time, further drama unfolded involving Emily. She was expelled from school for damaging the institution's reputation. With no safe haven, she attempted to come to Liam's home, but Liam had already returned to the family compound, and the security at Liam's apartment complex didn't recognize her, preventing her entry. Thus, she sat at the gate, waiting for Liam to appear. Eventually, she got wise and began loitering in front of the Smith Group offices. But as chance would have it, someone recognized her before Liam could arrive. Unable to tolerate the stares and whispers, she fled the scene. That night, Emily called, crying, begging for Liam's forgiveness, insisting that only death would earn it back. Liam calmly listened, and after a good 10 minutes, she finally started to calm down. "Why are you still alive? You've been wailing for 10 minutes. Emily was never going to commit suicide. A person this selfish and self-centered would be utterly terrified at the notion of death. Liam hung up and promptly blocked her number. With that, Liam's world finally settled into calm. The last time Liam saw Emily was 6 months later. During that time, thanks to Liam's efforts, the Smith Group sustained its peak. After wrapping up a contract, the other party invited Liam to dinner. While Liam was exhausted, Liam couldn't refuse. A disruption occurred the moment we exited the building as a disheveled woman rushed in. She swung her bag, hitting the man behind us in the face, her voice booming. "Damn it, I cook and do laundry at home for you. You have the nerve to cheat? I'll kill you. You heartless bastard. I'll kill you." The man she confronted didn't back down either, raising his hand to slap her. "Look at yourself. You're just a woman who stays in the kitchen. How disgusting." He's a university student, educated and cultured. He is far better than you, who didn't even finish college. Emily's eyes, once vibrant, now appeared older as she fell to the ground. "I went to college. I just got expelled for juggling 2 relationships? How dare you criticize others? Emily, have you heard about karma?" He spat on her before swaggering off. Emily sat on the ground, cradling her face and weeping, but Liam had seen enough and just left. "Mr. Anderson, do you know this person?" "I don't. To be honest, Liam, am just enjoying the gossip. I didn't realize Mr. Anderson had such an interest." It wasn't so much an interest. It was simply that Emily's drama was incredibly captivating, seeing as Liam once had a stake in it.